Nice to see you, Fresh Pea.
It's good to be back. I'm in the kitchen with Mo.
Hi.
And today we're gonna make a plum rhubarb jam.
Mo jam, Mo friends.
It's got Mo everything.
I got Mo everything. You got more plums, then you got more jam. And you got more jam, you got more friends. And you got more friends, you got more good times. More smiles.
More laughs.
More laughs.
My accent's not as good as yours. So Mariah brought over these beautiful Italian plums?
Italian plums.
Italian plums. So we have rhubarb,
Yep.
plums, sugar, lemon juice, and a little bit of kirsch. Kirsch is an optional ingredient, and what it does, there's something about the alcohol that just makes the flavor brighter and kind of pop. So we're only going to add 5 or 6 drops, so it's so negligible that it's not vital. If you don't have kirsch and you have something like plum brandy, use that.
When I got here, the first thing that Corinne and I always do is Corinne goes out and pulls out all her books, well, not all of them, a fine selection of jam books that she thinks is going to inspire us and hopefully find some recipes. And it was really fun today. I feel like we went through lots of ideas, and then there was this plateau of what are we going to do? And I feel like we came through the other side. We've already done a bunch and followed a few recipes, and now we're going to venture beyond a few recipes.
Yes. So this is new jam territory for us. So I'm going to put a list of these authors. These are my favorite of my favorite books. I'll put a list of them below this video. Each jam maker has their own technique, and I personally will write off anybody that uses pectin in their jams. I don't want it in my jams. I don't like it. And so anybody that relies heavily on commercial pectin, I will dismiss immediately. But what does appeal to me is people that really respect the fruit and the ingredients. They want the best, freshest, yummiest fruit, and they're going to cook it in a way that makes that fruit shine.
And then the other thing I think you look for, Corinne, is an interesting complementary flavors that will highlight the fruit. Yeah, the jars are in the oven. They've been sterilized and they're in the oven. In the dishwasher, you have all of your canning supplies. So the funnel, the ladle, tongs, lots of spoons.
Spoons for tasting, spoons for testing. And I've also put a handful of spoons in the freezer. And you want to start with really, really cold spoons because they're going to be important for our set tests. So we want to know whether or not our jam has cooked long enough. We want to simulate cool jam. So you take hot jam on a frozen spoon, put it back in the freezer for a couple of minutes, and then we can see if the consistency is right and if it's been cooking long enough. If it's too runny, we'll just cook the jam a few more minutes. If it sets, then it's time to jar. That was really wordy.
Takes a lot of words to describe a good jam.
I guess it does.
Can't skimp on words when you're making jam.
How about I stop talking and just start cooking? I'm better at it. And generally, as a rule of thumb, I will increase my fruit 25% if I'm unfamiliar with a jam recipe. You could just as easily reduce the sugar by 25%. It's the same outcome. I don't want to start with the amount of sugar that the recipe calls for, because oftentimes it's just too sweet for my taste. But each person is individual. Did you hear that the Plum Advisory Board was thinking about renaming the prune?
What are they going to name it?
Dried plum.
Brilliant.
I know. It's so simple. Where'd prune come from anyway?
I know.
Prunus? Is that the genus?
Prunus? The genus Prunus?
Are these Prunus something or others?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to look that up.
Sounds Latin.
I'm going to Google that.
So this is how easy this jam is. Basically put everything in your pot. You're going to bring it up to a boil for 4 minutes and cook it boiling, stirring the whole time. This is going to be the primary reduction where you get a lot of that moisture out. We're going to cook it for about 30 minutes overall. We're going to start it on high, bring it up to a boil, boil it on high for maybe 6 or 7 minutes, stirring the whole time. Once it starts to thicken up, we're going to run the risk of burning it if we don't turn it down. So I'll just slowly, incrementally be turning my heat down just a little bit until the last 10 minutes. I'll probably cook it over like a medium low. And that's it. Then we're going to put it in our jars and you're done. And Mariah brought up a really interesting point earlier today. She said she doesn't eat a lot of jam. I don't eat a lot of jam, but I can't.
Truth be told.
No, but I can't there's something primal about living in a valley, an agricultural valley, where we have fruit year-round and not preserving it somehow. I'm getting to the point in my life where I almost dread getting gifts because I'm like, oh gosh, what am I gonna, I don't need this. And you have so much stuff already. But when somebody hand makes something and gives it to me, it is so cherished. I love it so much. So it's a beautiful thing.
I don't know really what to get people in this day of commercialism. Like, I don't really know what to get people, but jam is such an easy, feel-good gift that I can give with, a lot of pride in my area, a lot of,
and it's a lot of you in it.
It looks beautiful. The color is gorgeous. Beautiful. The only thing is, Corinne, is it just tastes like red.
Mo and I have become very, very picky connoisseurs of jam.
And very descriptive with our words. What does the taste of red just taste like? Tastes red.
It does taste red. Okay, so Mo's solution was star anise. We made an earlier jam with plum, apple, and star anise, and it's one of my favorites. And it's such a fantastic combination. The star anise doesn't taste licoricey. It doesn't taste like that anise flavor, but it makes the plum taste plummier. And then in years past, I've made a cinnamon plum jam that's really fantastic.
So we're gonna do a little taste test while our jam bubbles away in its last few minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna try dipping a little star anise. It's yummy. That's a really good combo.
Is it good?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try this thing. Oh, that tastes like a red hot. That's so yum.
Should we do cinnamon?
Let's do cinnamon. I mean, we have the,
So what we're gonna do is just break this into a couple pieces and cook it for the last probably 5 minutes. Generally, if we were starting a recipe, I might use a 2-inch cinnamon stick, but I'm gonna use the whole thing because it hasn't had that 15 minutes. Yeah.